Hi everyone, I'm Laura Papetti sitting alongside Jen York today. Coming up right now on KREM 2 News at noon.
President Trump's former campaign chairman is facing a slew of new fraud charges. The indictment came just minutes after being sentenced for federal crimes.
And the FBI took actress Lori Loughlin into custody, all in connection to a nationwide college bribery scheme. She is being charged with scheming to get her children into elite colleges.
Plus, we saw an inch of snow last night into this morning, but look how quickly things can change outside. We have spring in just a few days. Find out where those temperatures are headed as we start off that new season. KREM 2 News at Noon starts now.
KREM 2 News at Noon begins now.
Well, we begin with breaking news. President Trump is grounding the Boeing 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9 aircraft in the U.S.
The U.S. now joins more than 24 other countries to temporarily ban that aircraft, of course, all following a deadly crash on Sunday in Ethiopia and also last fall's Lion Air crash. The cause of Sunday's crash right now under investigation. But new at noon, we have learned experts in Germany will be examining the black box from that crash.
And we do want to take a live look here at the noon hour above Boeing Field in Seattle. In the fallout of the crashes, Norwegian Air wants compensation from Boeing after grounding its MAX 8 fleet. A spokesperson says the company should not have to carry the financial burden for a brand new aircraft that is not in use. Again, taking a live look over Seattle today. This is from our sister station in Seattle. You can read more about this developing story right now on KREM.com. You can also find that information on the KREM 2 mobile app.
All right, it is just 1 minute past noon right now. The sun is out shining after a pretty snowy start to the day. Evan Narani is tracking a big warm up happening in our near future, Evan.
That's absolutely right. We're starting to see those temperatures already begin to warm up into our afternoon hours. And then as we go into later this weekend, next week, oh boy, a lot of changes on the way. Take a look at what we've got on satellite radar right now. A lot of those snow showers clearing out. So this is what happened as of early this morning, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Those snow showers started to taper off. By the time we got to 9 and 10 a.m., things were completely clear. But you can see how much snow that dropped on us overnight into this morning. That's why we added an inch on to our snow depth for the day. 12-hour forecast, though, showing that all that winter weather has cleared out and is done for the day. 36 degrees will be that afternoon high, although we already at 31 degrees. As we go into the evening hours, we'll dip back down below that freezing point, and we'll be seeing those temperatures rise once again tomorrow. But the thing is, we are back at an additional snow depth record. Current snow depth is at 15 inches now. We got to 16 earlier on in the day, but have already seen an inch of that snow melt. The previous record was set in 1969. Just to give you an idea of the snow depth as of previous years, at this time last year in 2018, all the way back to 2010, that snow depth was at 0 inches for this day, March 13th. So that is all thanks to that heavy snow over the month of February and that recent snowfall just a few days ago. Coming up, we're talking about what we're going to be seeing as we head towards that spring season, and a lot of warm up is on the way. That's coming up.
All right, Evan, thank you. Well, new at noon, President Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, is headed to prison. A judge sentenced him today to 3.5 additional years behind bars.
So just minutes after that sentencing, investigators then announced Manafort is being indicted for even more fraud charges, this coming out of New York. So today's sentence comes after he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of conspiracy charges. A federal judge says Manafort consistently gave false testimony about his interactions with a Russian political consultant. Then last week, a judge sentenced him to 47 months in prison after being convicted of bank and tax fraud. So that means he will spend a total of about 7.5 years in prison. That does not include any possible jail time that he could receive with the latest allegations.
Judge Jackson conceded that there was absolutely no evidence of any Russian collusion in this case.
Well, none of Manafort's crimes are related to work he did on President Trump's 2016 election campaign. Police identified another victim of Ted Bundy. In November of 1974, Deborah Kent went missing after attending a high school play with her parents. The 17-year-old's case quickly went cold, but public interest perked after Netflix released the documentary series Conversations with a Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes. Using DNA, police in Utah confirmed Bundy is responsible for the teen's murder. A Massachusetts court reinstated late NFL star Aaron Hernandez's murder conviction. It was erased after he killed himself in prison. He was serving a life sentence for murder but was appealing that charge. Now, under Massachusetts law, when the defendant can no longer assist with the appeal, the law says the conviction must be vacated. While the High Court says that law is outdated. It also abolished that practice for future cases. Around the world, authorities in Brazil say 2 hooded men walked into a school and opened fire. Investigators say they killed 8 people before turning the guns on themselves. Right now, investigators do not believe the gunmen were former students. Rescue efforts are underway in Nigeria at a school building after a school building collapsed. More than 40 people, including children, have been rescued, though rescuers say the death toll cannot be determined right now. They say up to 100 children could have been inside the building at the time of that collapse.
Well, celebrities and business leaders are among 50 people who face criminal charges in a giant college admissions scam. It was part of a sting operation called Operation Varsity Blues. Actress Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman are among 33 parents being charged. Prosecutors say some of them paid millions of dollars to get their children into elite schools. We're talking like Yale, Stanford, and the University of Southern California. They say illegal actions included bribes, lying about athletic profiles, and fudging test scores. The universities say they are victims and that despite 9 coaches also being charged in the scheme. And prosecutors say in many cases the students were unaware of the alleged crimes. CBS's Chris Martinez explains the possible legal consequences for the wealthy parents involved.
With the man at the center of a massive college bribery scandal cooperating with authorities, more fallout is expected in the weeks and months ahead. College admissions consultant William Singer pled guilty Tuesday. Prosecutors say wealthy parents paid him millions to guarantee their children got into top colleges.
All of them knowingly conspired with Singer and others to help their children either cheat on the SAT or ACT and or buy their children's admission to elite schools through fraud.
The 33 parents named in the indictment are accused of paying an estimated $25 million in bribes. Among them, Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman, who allegedly paid $15,000 so a test administrator could boost her daughter's college entrance exam score. Her husband, actor William H. Macy, was in court with her as she was charged with conspiracy and posted a $250,000 bond. Full House star Lori Loughlin is also facing conspiracy charges. She and her husband allegedly paid $500,000 to have their 2 daughters labeled as recruits to the USC crew team, even though neither played the sport.
I think the parents are facing serious time, and perhaps what I mean by that is prison time.
They could go to jail for this?
We're talking to parents.
Yeah.
On CBS this morning, legal analyst Ricky Kleeman discussed the possible consequences for the parents.
People are so angry all over the country about this case. So the parents need to be punished severely in order for there to be deterrence.
Prosecutors say there isn't a separate college admission system for the wealthy, and there won't be a separate criminal justice system either. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Certainly has a lot of people talking, and you got to feel for the students that weren't accepted to those schools, maybe because these other students were paid. Essentially to get their position.
People very upset about it. So we'll continue to track that as more information is happening there as we speak. There are new developments throughout the day. Okay.
All right. Well, it was a tough day for both the Gonzaga men's basketball team and the women's team in the WCC tournament. For the men, their rival St. Mary's punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament. And the Zags, I don't know. We'll break down what happened